Broken Rules have just released Gibbon Beyond the Trees onto Apple Arcade. It's an adventure game by the two-time Apple Design Award winning developers of Old Man's Journey and Aloha. Today we're going to have a look at it, see how it's an incredibly well-optimized indie game for Apple devices, and how Broken Rules are trying to make a positive change on the environment through their new game. The first prototypes of Gibbon were developed early in 2019, but the team assembly and pre-production officially started in September 2019. The goal with Gibbon Beyond the Trees is awesome. It's a massive collaboration between Broken Rules, Apple, and other organizations, with the shared goal of bringing awareness on how gibbons are quickly becoming one of the most endangered species alive today. Players follow a family of gibbons on their beautiful but destructive journey across fictional Borneo, trying to find a new home away from human civilization. The dev team told me they did not assign genders to the gibbons, so players can make their own interpretations. They call them pink, yellow, and lilac. Yellow is the parent, pink and lilac are their children. There is no human dialogue here, and no major focus on action either. Instead, across 10 chapters, players will be immersed in the behavior and relationships of the gibbon family, witness the destruction of their habitat by the oil industry, mining companies, and illegal loggers. Most importantly, you'll see how whole families of gibbons are being captured and exploited for social media-fueled tourism too. Each chapter takes you to a new location and introduces you to new gameplay mechanics and obstacles. When you complete the main story, you'll unlock the Liberation mode. Here, players take over the role of Lilac and will try to rescue captured animals across the jungle. Then you can see your progress on the main menu. You'll save langurs, long-nosed monkeys, hornbills, and other animals living in Borneo. The controls and movement here is different. While it's an auto-runner, it brings a dynamic movement system to swing, slide, and somersault through the jungle and towns. I'll be honest, at first I did not enjoy the controls. I can't tell you how many times I died trying to swing across massive gaps, but it wasn't until my second playthrough that I finally mastered it. It all revolves around building up momentum and finding the right time to either swing or climb. When you get it down, it can look quite cinematic and beautiful. I found playing with a controller actually made the movement a little harder for some reason, so for this game I definitely suggest playing the touchscreen. The visuals of the game are a mixture of 2D and 3D, using techniques that were specifically developed for the game. Despite just being an indie game with not the most complex scenes, its performance on iOS and Mac is still quite impressive. Broken Rules told me the game is locked at 60 FPS on all high-end devices. Take my iPhone 13 Pro as an example, or my iPad Pro 11-inch 3rd gen. It throttles down to 30 FPS on some older devices, like my iPhone 7 Plus, that support Apple Arcade. Included is a low power mode too on iOS, which plays the game at 30 FPS. This mode is ideal to conserve battery. I don't suggest using it though if you have above 30% battery or if you're playing with a charger connected. For me, the lower frame rate can make it a little more difficult to move around with ease. On Apple TV, it can run at 60 FPS by default, and it's a practically locked frame rate too. It's quite rare to see this type of frame pacing on Apple TV. Even most indie games with a similar graphical style are not this well optimized. Mac users have the ability to choose a custom resolution with Gibbon and can choose different visual qualities from low, medium, and high. You can also play with a mouse and keyboard or a controller on Mac too. On the original M1 chip, the game gets 60 FPS, even at 4K resolution and high settings. On M1 Pro and M1 Max, the game targets 120 FPS at their native displays too. It's not a demanding game by any means, so it's not that surprising, but it's still good optimization. Have you or will you play Gibbon Beyond the Trees on Apple Arcade? Let me know in the comments. The dev team informed me that content updates are in the works for the game, but they can't reveal any details on the specifics yet. I'm looking forward to what they bring us. It's these sort of creative games that make me interested in Apple Arcade, and I hope to see more innovative indie games that make a positive impact on the players and also the environment. Leave a like if you enjoyed this review, and subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Apple Arcade related. My name's Stewie, and thanks for watching.